Hello, listeners. My name is Anna Luisa.
My name is Floor.
I'm Nicholas.
I'm Anai.
And I'm Leon.
We are students of the Economic Sociology class at the University of Washington. Today, we're going to be discussing the shift that universities are taking in favor of adjunct professors over professors with tenures, and we're going to be discussing the inequalities and implications of this shift. In an article published in December 2015, Professor Jerry Davis from the University of Michigan highlighted a shift in an employee's role in a business. In the 20th century, vertical integration was a staple in American corporations. The corporation owned the facilities that were producing and designing its products. Everything that went into the product was owned by the corporation. In the 21st century, however, vertical integration is gradually becoming less of a necessity for a corporation due to advancement in technology and its integration into the market. Utilizing the internet and improvements in communications, corporations can establish a contract with other manufacturing companies to supply and produce their products. Apple has a contract with Foxconn to produce iPhones in China, where production and labor costs are significantly lower. Contract work has been more prevalent during the 21st century in other areas as well. Uber relies on independent contractors to be their driver to minimize expenditures and increase profit. Similarly, universities have been hiring independent contractors to teach their students. Professor Davis argues that employees within a corporation is becoming less and less significant due to the use of contracting outside businesses to do work for them. The practice of using contractors to conduct business is what Davis calls the gig economy. For the past few decades, there has been an increasing number of professors under contract and a decreasing number of full-time or tenured professors. These contract workers are known as contingent or adjunct professors. What are the differences between adjunct professors and professors with tenures?
Adjunct professors are hired to teach a given number of courses at the university. Afterwards, the contract could be disbanded or renewed based on the university's decision. Tenured professors are promised an essentially permanent position at the university. Professors with tenures tend to teach high-level courses while attending to other responsibilities, such as conducting research, being a part of committees, publishing works, and attending conferences and events. A math professor from the University of Washington gave us a look into what it means to be an adjunct professor versus a tenured professor based on his personal experience.
For the first few years, I had like 2 to 3 year contracts that they'd renew every 3 years, and now I'm on 5-year contracts. So they just say, so it's a little bit less security than tenure. At least for me, they've said they want me forever, but I have to take their word for it. For a tenure track professor, they have to progress along. They have to publish enough each year. Sometimes that means they have to get grants. So they have to keep up research. So that's the biggest thing, is I have twice the teaching load, but no research requirement.
From his experience, the number of courses he teaches is more than that of a tenured professor. However, the difference is that the tenured professors are also focused on doing research. These differences have caused changes over the past years in the academia system.
By how much has the number of adjunct and tenured professors changed in the past few decades?
In 1969, 78.3% of professors nationwide were tenured or on the tenure track, while the remaining 21.7% were adjunct. In 1975, the gap narrowed to 57% and 43% respectively. In 1993, those percentages completely reversed, and the percentage of adjunct professors surpassed tenured professors. By 2011, adjunct professors dominate universities' faculty with 70% nationwide and only 30% of professors having tenures or on the tenure track.
What are the benefits of hiring adjunct professors? What are the causes for these changes?
Just like the other forms of contract work, professors working under a contract is simply more cost efficient. Universities can pay considerably less for an adjunct professor than for a tenured professor doing the same amount of work. Additionally, an adjunct professor under contract is much easier to manage than a full-time professor. The university also does not need to provide certain benefits such as health care and retirement plans for adjunct professors. In an interview with Professor Davis, we asked him about the possible causes for this shift towards adjunct professor. This is what he told us.
One of the biggest problems is that in many of the fields, like in a liberal arts school, there's way more people with PhDs than there are jobs. I think the University of Michigan Sociology Department might have 20 people getting a PhD every year. There are not 20 great jobs in the country at this point. So there's more PhDs being produced than there are jobs. And when that happens year after year, you have a whole lot of people piled up who have nice degrees from fancy schools and not a lot of great job opportunities elsewhere.
According to what Professor Davis said, a cause for this change is the increasing supply and demand gap between available jobs and the number of professors qualified for the jobs. There's an increasing number of students graduating with PhDs and not enough job openings for all these students, resulting in a highly competitive market. As a result, universities could hire adjunct professors that could teach better than professors with tenures for a considerably lower wage. Additionally, hiring adjunct professors to teach lower-level courses frees up professors with tenure to teach higher-level courses or to research. Adjunct teachers could also focus on teaching since they don't have the same responsibilities as professors with tenures.
How much less are adjunct professors paid compared to professors with tenures?
An adjunct professor makes around $30,000 a year. That is close to the national poverty line for a family of 4 with only 1 member working. To make this much, they would have to typically teach 8 courses a year. Some adjunct teachers have to teach a few courses across multiple universities to make a living. A full-time professor can make at least $50,000 annually, teaching half as many courses. Since universities have been favoring adjunct teachers over teachers with tenure, a majority of the university's faculty are working twice the amount and are not being compensated for their work. A math professor from the University of Washington said that he teaches 8 classes on average, but this year he is teaching 9 classes and the classes are split by teaching 3 classes per quarter.
If adjunct professors are much more cost efficient than professors with tenures, why do universities still keep professors with tenures?
A part of it is that the tenure protects the professor from being fired without a significant violation. Additionally, some classes need to be taught by tenured teachers, whether it is due to the professor's qualifications or by regulations that require a set number of courses to be taught by professors with tenures. A university also needs members for their committee to make decisions for the school and to attend conferences and special events.
A university would also want to keep some professors with tenures to maintain a high reputation for the university. A prestigious university will have to have professors with high reputations to research and publish work for the university. This prestige allows the university to attract more students to apply for the university and justify their high tuition rates.
What are the implications of this shift towards adjunct professors?
Contract workers give the universities a significant amount of control over their faculty. The universities could easily get rid of adjunct professors when their contract expires. Hiring adjunct professors also allows the university to save money since they are paid considerably less than full-time professors.
Contract work also implies a lack of job security for the workers. Where full-time professors are promised a position for a long time, adjuncts are not provided with the same job security. They go contract by contract as they hope to have their contract renewed or look for work elsewhere. This shift is also an indication of a bigger shift towards contract work over stable careers in teaching as well as other professions that are favoring contract work.
What is the future of this shift?
With already 70% of the professors in America being adjunct, the trend is predicted to still increase. There are still plans for universities to add more adjunct professors. In an interview with a professor and sociologist at the University of Michigan, He predicts that more adjunct professors will be added to the department in the future. He said that if the University of Washington wanted to pay adjuncts more, one possibility would be hiring fewer tenured faculty. This proves that they will likely start seeing more adjuncts in the future and less tenures. With the current system that gives adjunct professors a minimal paycheck, this seems like an exploitation for the universities. With a larger adjunct faculty, the universities will eventually have to make adjustments to give adjunct professors more benefits for their work. Slight changes have already been made to improve an adjunct professor's job.
Even in our university a few years ago, we had people that were quarter-to-quarter contracts. So they would get a contract to teach this quarter, and then the next quarter they'd realize, oh, we need you again. They get a contract, the next quarter they say, we need you again. And they do it for 5 years. That's, the faculty senate has said that's not okay anymore. If you're going to keep doing that, you need to give them a continuing contract, because they are continuing, and they need all the benefits that come with that.
As stated from the professor of the University of Washington, adjuncts used to have contracts by course. The administration has said that that's not allowed anymore. They need to give them a longer contract. This allows for adjuncts to have slightly more job security. There has also been causes of the formation of unions to provide additional job security for adjunct professors. However, this is not enough to compensate for adjunct professors' work.
Currently, there has not been many changes in improving adjunct professors' benefits aside from the contract extensions. With the increase in adjuncts to the universities, one could see more benefits being added to the adjuncts benefit. However, Professor Davis has brought up a different point of view.
If the University of Washington wants to start paying adjuncts more, the money's going to come from somewhere. I guess one possibility would be fewer full-time tenure-track faculty and, divide up that money more. So if you want to raise the wages, basically the money has to come from somewhere. You can either convince the state legislature of Washington to give you more money, and that will be hard. You can convince donors that it would be humane for them to give the university more money and pay it better. It's not going to work because donors they're not interested in that kind of thing. Or you could charge students like yourself more money.
So improving adjuncts benefits isn't as easy as it seems. To be able to improve, they will have to obtain the money from somewhere to enact these changes. As stated, universities could push towards less tenured professors to increase wages, or increase college tuition to obtain more money. Although many professors have different opinions on what will happen, it appears that the changes are going to require a lot of adjustments in the current system. As a result, there is a lot of difficulty in eliminating the inequality between adjuncts and tenured professors. However, we are in a period that could expect change in the near future with the establishment of teacher unions for adjuncts, which provide adjuncts a voice within universities.
That's all the time we have for today. We would like to thank Professor Jerry Davis from the University of Michigan and the professor we interviewed here at the University of Washington for sharing their thoughts with us on this issue. If you would like to learn about inequalities in other markets or learn more about economic sociology, you can listen to or watch other podcasts and videos on this channel. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.